Hello everyone and welcome to the pond. My name is Frank, aka Bullfrog TCG, and today we are taking a look at Lux. Now, out of the Proving Grounds box set, I think Lux is one of the champions that is most slept on. People don't really give her a chance to kind of prove herself, but I think in this video today you are going to see the power of the deck and also the power of the legend ability. Just being able to draw off each of your big removal spells to kind of keep accumulating or maintaining hand advantage to also kind of give you more options on the following turns is just so valuable. And I think this is also one of those decks that's gonna be very interesting to see what other tools we get to work with her, because with her legend ability we do have to play a certain amount of like high costed spells, and it's gonna be very interesting to see in the following sets what kind of other tools we get to work with her and to synergize with her. But for now I think this is the best version of Lux, and I don't really think it can be argued. So yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at the deck list. So let's take a look at Lux. Lux, Lady of Luminosity. Starter. When you play a spell that costs 5 or more, draw 1. So this is like a big spell deck. Like Kai'Sa and Annie are also spell decks, but they're more reactive. And Lux is a very proactive spell deck. We don't really play stuff on our opponent's turn. We're kind of just trying to, like, the whole game plan of Lux, at least this version, is to develop small bodies to conquer battlefields and get points, and then just play big spells to just kill whatever your opponent tries to play out. So with Lux, we are also playing the Lux Champion. Lux is a 4 energy unit with 2 might, so she's very low statted, but she has an insane ability. So her ability is rest her, reaction, add 2, and you can only use those energy to play spells. So basically this is just going to give you 2 more energy each turn to work with, and if you're playing the Obelisk of Power battlefield like we are, if you go second, then you can just play this one on turn 1. Because a lot of our spells, like, we need to get the ability off, we need to play spells to cost 5 or more, so all our spells cost 5 or more. Like you can see here, we have like 5s and 6s, and even have one that costs 8 and 7. Yeah, so we just have a lot of expensive spells, so getting that 2 extra energy every turn is really valuable. But okay, for the spells, we are playing a playset of Falling Comet. It just deals 6 to a unit at a battlefield for 5 energy. Really solid, and we can also play it on our opponent's turn in a showdown if you wanted to. We also have 6, probably the best removal spell in the deck is 6 energy, 2 power spell, Singularity, and it says it deals 6 to each of up to 2 units. Now, it's kind of just like a better Falling Comet, but also the big thing about Singularity that is that this hits units everywhere. So it also hits units at the base. So that's really good. And then we also play Final Spark, which is Lux's signature spell. 8 energy, so it is very expensive, but it is an action, so it could be played in showdowns. And it just says deal 8 to a unit. Just a solid spell. It deals a ton of damage. It draws you a card in the Lux deck, and we also, like, for us it kind of costs 6 if we have the Lux out. So yeah, just a really solid spell. We are only playing it as a 2 of, just because it is a bit expensive, and we have a lot of like high costed spells, so we don't want to like brick our hand up with too many of these. But yeah, I could definitely see this going up to a 3 as well. And then we have Recruit the Vanguard. Now this might seem like a kind of a weird inclusion, because it is a 6 energy spell action. Play 4 recruit unit tokens. But this is very integral to our game plan, because we kind of want to set up our board with a bunch of small guys, and then when our opponents attacks battlefields, we want to just clear that with like a Singularity or Falling Comet or even the Unchecked Power, which I'm going to get to, and then just swing in with our little guys. So we don't really have a lot of power on board, but we just keep removing everything our opponent develops. And with the recruits, we have 4 units to kind of conquer battlefields with. So this is very good on the deck. And then we also play Unchecked Power. 7 energy, 2 power spell. Exhaust all friendly units, then deal 12 to all units at battlefields. So this is like the big board wipe, and it kills everything in the game. If our opponent doesn't play around this, which a lot of opponents doesn't do, because a lot of people don't play Lux, and they don't know how to play against it, so they don't really know that they should play around this. So they'll just stack up one battlefield, and then we just play this, and we clear the whole board. So this is just an insane card. And then we place 3 Blast of Power, 6 energy, 1 power, action, kill a unit at a battlefield. just a kill spell, gets rid of anything. It's just really solid. And it draws you a card, of course. And then we play, for the gears, we play 2 Energy Conduit. This is just a mana rock. We play it out early and then we just have another energy to work with. Because as you can see, a lot of our spells, like the Singularity, has 2 power cost, the Unchecked Power 2 power cost, the Blast of Power 1 power cost. So we are minusing a power quite a lot. So just having an extra energy every turn is just very good. And then for the other units, we are playing probably my favorite card in Sprite Mother. When you play me, play a ready 3 Might Sprite unit, token with temporary here. So this is just like, it's kind of what our deck wants, because we get 3 power that we can attack with immediately to potentially get a point or to clear some of our opponent's stuff. And then on the following turn we can attack again, without like spending extra resources to do so. So this is just a very solid card in blue. And then we play 2 Ravenbloom Student. This is just a good 2-drop, probably one of the best 2-drops in the game, honestly. And it just says, when you play a spell, give me +1 might this turn. So this just grows with our spells. We are playing a spell deck, of course, so with this is going to be a minimum of 3 every turn for 2 energy, which is just good stats. And then we are playing 3 Riftbound Dregs. So this and the Watcher are the only big units we're playing. So this just says, is 6 energy, 2 power. When you play me, deal 6 to an enemy unit at a battlefield. I'm kind of like going between these. I think I'm actually going to go down 1 Riftbound and up 1 Watcher. Because I find myself just, instead of playing this, I just want to play Singularity instead. To kind of get rid of 2 things. But this is still very good and kind of like a simplified board. Because you do develop a 6 might body of your own, which is not bad at all. So yeah, I really like this card, but maybe not as a 3 of. And then of course the Thousand-Tailed Watcher. Now I only play this as 1 of, just because it hasn't really come up that often, just because we keep removing our opponent's stuff so efficiently anyways. That when it comes to the late game where we could potentially play this, like opponent usually doesn't have that much stuff on board anyways, so it doesn't, like the effect doesn't accomplish that much. But it is still a very good card, so we are going to play it as a 1 of. And then we just play, we play the full set of Lux, because she is very important, so we want to play the full set of her. But she is also, when we're sideboarding, she is also often one of the cards that gets cut, just because we'd rather draw into our like salvages, for example, against Dazzling Aurora instead of drawing into an extra Lux. So yeah, but we are playing a playset for now. And then for our small guys, we are playing 3 Watchful Sentry, 3 Electring Yordle, and 3 Soaring Scout. And these are kind of like your bread and butter Lux cards. Like they're early points, small guys that we don't really care about dying. Like if this dies, we draw a card, and this just draws a card on play. So these are just small guys to capture battlefields while we keep spelling, like blasting away our opponent's stuff. So these cards I feel is an auto include in this deck. Moving on to the battlefields, we are playing 1 Obelisk of Power. At the start of each player's first beginning phase, that player channels 1 rune. So this allows us to play the Lux on turn 1 if we're going second. It also allows us to play, for example, a Soaring Scout and a Watchful Sentry, or like any combination of these 2 on turn 1 if we're going second, and also on turn 1 if we're going first, we can just play out the Electring Yordle. So this is just a really good play to just, a card to just kind of get our energies going really quickly, because we kind of want to be at the spot where we can play at least one of these spells and one of these at the same time, so just getting some energy ramp early is just very good. And then we play the Void Gate. Spells and abilities affecting units here deal 1 bonus, each deal 1 bonus damage. This doesn't really come up a lot, because we're already dealing quite a lot of damage with, like, this deals 5 or 6, and this deals 6, this deals 8, this deals 12, so it doesn't really come up that often, but it could come up. Like you have some huge units like Dead Bloom Predator, for example, which is an 8, so we can kind of deal 7 to that and then swing in with a recruit token, for example. So in some cases it could come up, and then also it's about like playing battlefields that don't necessarily give, like that don't give your opponents value, even though it doesn't necessarily give us a lot of value either. So I am still playing this. And then we're playing an Aspirant's Climb. We want to go to the long game. Long game is where we shine. That's where we can kind of play our big spells and develop board at the same time. So just increasing the points needed to win the game by 1 is just a very good way to do that. And then for the runes, we're just playing 8 Mind Runes and 4 Order Runes. We do have quite a lot more of the blue recycle costs. Between Riptide, the Watcher, and the Unchecked Power, and the Singularity, the only yellow card we have, or the only yellow power card we have, is Blast of Power. But I am still going to play 4 just because I want to be able to reliably cast this whenever I have enough energy to do so. So like I could see like people just playing like 2 of the order runes, but I think that is just way too risky because you don't want to be stuck in a position where you're at like 6 energy or 6 runes, but they're all blue and you can't play this. So yeah, that's why I'm running this split. So yeah, that's the deck. This is a really fun deck to play. We're gonna showcase 3 games today, and you can really see the power of not only the Lux ability to keep like refilling your hand all the time, but also like the individual cards in this deck as well. So yeah, with that, I hope you enjoy the games, and I will see you at the end for the wrap up. Okay, so we are starting off against Darius, going second with the Obelisk, so we could potentially play the Lux on turn 1, but let's see what happens. So he's gonna lead off with a Trifarian Glory Seeker into a Noxus Hopeful. Pretty aggressive and good start for him. And yeah, I mean, it's like for Lux, all your spells are so expensive, so just having like 2 extra energy every turn early on is just really valuable. And then he's gonna play a Seal. Okay, he's gonna attack, he's gonna get that point, we can't really do anything about that. And he's gonna get the other one as well. And he's gonna hide a card. So I'm thinking that this is probably a Hidden Blade, because I can't really think of any other cards that he would hide in these colors at least. So that is something that I would have to think about. And he's gonna play a Captain into like getting the 2 recruits as well. So this, now because we play the Lux, we actually have enough energy to play the Unchecked Power, which against this board set, like he has a full board and is 1 card in hand. And I mean, we don't have anything that we're scared of like losing. So yeah, this is just way too much value to like not use it. Yeah, we're kinda... Okay, so it was a Hidden Blade. And he's gonna use it to kill my Lux. Okay, fair enough. He could have also used it to kill one of his own units to draw 2, but he decided that Lux was a bigger target, and I think that's correct. But now he is on 2 cards. So in terms of hand advantage, we are far ahead of him. He's gonna play the Baited Hook, a very interesting card, into a... I can't remember the name of that, but he's gonna get a recruit as well. Around 6 energy, we don't really have anything better to do, so we're just gonna play a energy conduit into a sentry and a bird. So we could also just played 2 lecturing yordles for 3 each, but I think like we still get 2 units on the board, and we can get the energy conduit to give us more energy for next turn. I think both options are valid, but I think for now getting the extra energy was most valuable to me. Okay, he's gonna get another point, and he's gonna get another one. So he is quite far ahead of us in terms of points. I mean, we don't have any. But we're still in a good spot. Because he has limited options now, because he only has 1 card in his hand, and we have 4. And he's gonna get a Daring Poro. Yep. And his last card is gonna be Draven, okay. And we have a few options here. We could also... we are gonna go for this Final Spark in the Draven just to get it off the board. We could also have gone the Singularity, but I think Final Spark now, just getting the Draven, and then we can deal with these 2 on the following turn. I think that's just better. Because if he gets 1 more point, then Draven is going to be too big for us to handle, so we kind of have to do it now. And we're going to draw into just a kill spell, which is not bad at all. So he does get 1 point for holding. Okay, and he's going to get the Warden into... No, the Spectral Matron into the Vanguard Captain. Now this is a very good play, because the Vanguard Captain requires Legion. But if you play the Spectral Matron into the Vanguard, then Legion is already triggered from the Spectral Matron. So this is just like 4 energy, 2 power, and you get 7, 8, and 9 power divided amongst 4 bodies. So it's a very powerful play. And then on top of that, you can also use the hook if you wanted to. You could also play the Darius if you wanted to. Okay, so he's gonna play it into the base. Okay, well on our turn, I mean we do have the Singularity, so we're probably just gonna fire that off. Yeah, I mean the real power of Singularity is that it can target stuff off the battlefield as well, so we're just gonna get rid of the 2 biggest things. Yep, draw into a Student. Play Yordle, draw into a Sprite Mother, and then with the last two we can play it down the student. And I mean, yeah, his board is, like, he has a big board, but we also have a lot of cards in hand. And we can play the Sprite Mother next turn to get like a 3 power body to potentially attack with. So even though it keeps building this up, like, we are slowly catching up to him as well. Yep, he's gonna play another captain. Just building that board, and I think he's doing the right thing as well, because he is on 5 points and we're on 2 points. So if he just keeps this up and I can't remove stuff, then he's just gonna win the race. Okay, we are gonna get 1 point of ourselves, or 1 point ourselves. Then I'm gonna play the Yordle and the student. Now he gets 6 points. So next turn is probably the turn that I have to try to clear his stuff. Okay, he gets a vein, so he gets the final point, or not the final point, but almost the final point. And he's gonna play it on a Poro and a vein. Okay. Now we just drew like the big swing card of blue, which is the 1000-Tail Watcher. And if we hadn't drawn that, we probably wouldn't have won this. But this just makes everything a -3. So his whole board is 1s now. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it only has 9 points on board. And the Watcher itself is a 7 with Accelerate. So yeah, I mean, like I say, it's better to be lucky than good, right? And then I just attack with the Sprite first, just to, you know, just to clear some stuff, and then we could just go on with the Watcher. Yep, clear everything and attack there, get 1 more point. And then now it's gonna be really hard for him to win. Because even if he can't like remove my Watcher, we have so much stuff in our hand. Like we have the Riptide Rex, we have the kill spells. So we just have so many answers to whatever he could have. And we just pass on our turn, he plays a Kaisa, and as we said, we do have the kill spell, Blast of Power. We're just gonna kill that, and then on the following turn we're just gonna win. Okay, so in our second game we are going up against Master Yi. We're just gonna lead off with a Sentry. We are going first. Yeah, we're kinda like misclicking a bit, so he just passed turn to me without doing anything. Okay, he gets 3 runes. He's gonna play a Stalwart Poro. Okay, simple play. Watchful Sentry is gonna grab a point over there. And we are gonna play out the Lux. Yeah, like as I said, just having Lux early just gives you so much value in terms of resources. He's gonna catch the other battlefield, and he is unfortunately gonna use the Charm on our Lux to bring it in. They are both 2, but Stalwart Poro has a defender, and when he like charms my unit in, my unit comes in as an attacker, so he is gonna get the charm, and so he's just gonna kill my Lux off, which is unfortunate. And then he's gonna play First Mate. Okay. We're gonna get 1 point for holding. And then we are just playing the Riptide Rex. Okay, we're just gonna play it on the base, just get rid of the Poro. We kinda wanna get rid of his units as efficiently as possible, because of the Master Yi ability, if he just has 1 unit in the battlefield, it's really hard to get rid of it by like attacking into it. So yeah, I think the Riptide Rex is just a good tempo play there. Okay, he's gonna swing into our Sentry. That's gonna die, of course. Or okay, he's not. Okay, he's gonna attack into us with the First Mate, kill our Sentry. We're gonna draw a card of that. And yeah, like here as well, like I am tempted to attack with the Riptide Rex into the First Mate, but he is a 3, so it's a 3-marked unit, and with the Yi ability, it's gonna grow to a 5. So if he just has 1 spell, like a Discipline, for example, he's just gonna kill our Riptide. So instead of doing that, I'm just gonna conquer the other battlefield. Okay, get a point. And we just play a Scout and a Scout. We're actually gonna play the Scout in the battlefield. Just because he does, if he does like use a charm or anything, we're still gonna get the hold. Just because if he does use the charm or something, then we're still gonna get the hold to draw an extra card, which is nice. Okay, he's gonna play Clockwork Keeper with the abilities, so he's gonna draw one. And the Hourglass. Now Hourglass is annoying, because usually we like play, we manage to kill 1 or 2 things per turn. So an Hourglass is just gonna like kind of set us back 1 turn. So it is pretty annoying, but okay, we'll see what happens. So we do draw an extra card off the Grove of the God Willow battlefield, which is pretty nice. We are going to use Singularity just to get rid of the 2 guys on the board, and then he can, since they're killed at the same time, he can choose which one he wants to keep with the Hourglass. He is going to keep the first mate. I mean, it is the biggest one, so why not? We are going to get 1 more point. Probably. Yep. And yeah, I mean, for now we are in a pretty good spot. We have a point lead, and we have more stuff on the battlefield. Until he plays the White Flame Protector, which just buffs something by 8, so he's going to swing in with 11. Unfortunately, taking out both our guys. We can't stop that, unfortunately. Now we are going to fall in combat, the first mate. Again, just trying to keep the board clear. We are still on a point lead. And yeah, with the last 4, we're just going to play a Sprite Mother and try to conquer to go up to 7 points. We are going to get that. So now we only need to hold with one of the battlefields to win, or potentially conquer both. Could also work. Okay, he's going to play the Master Yi, which enters ready, so he's going to get rid of that one, and he's also going to get rid of, or he's going to conquer the other one as well. Okay, well I mean now because both those units are so big, so we kind of just have to go for the unchecked power here. Yep. Kill both. He probably can't do anything about that. He could have like a wind wall, but he doesn't have enough energy to use that. Yeah, so that is just gonna kill both. We of course can attack because it also rests our units. Okay, well he was kind of late with that. He wanted to react with a discipline in response to the unchecked power, but I mean we're just playing a casual game here, so I just let him do that. And we are just gonna use the rest of our energy to play a Yordle and draw 1. Okay, so we are still in a good spot. I mean, unless he has some accelerate cards, we are just gonna be able to conquer both battlefields on the next turn. So hopefully that's the case. Okay, that's not accelerate. Okay, Discipline just draw 1. So he is kind of desperate here. First mate, okay, he's gonna conquer the battlefield and draw 1. And just draw 1. And okay, he is gonna get the go conquer the battlefield. So we're both at 7 points now. So, but we are gonna Singularity. Our favorite thing to do in this deck. Yep, and then conquer both, and we win. Alright. So yeah, I mean, just like, it might seem like overkill to use the Singularity to get rid of like 2 and 3 power units, or 3 might units. But with this deck, you kind of want, that's kind of your game plan. You want to play like your small dudes to kind of conquer battlefields, and like small units that you don't really care about dying. And then you want to use spells to just clear his stuff all the time, so he can't like take them back. So that's kind of the whole game plan. But yeah, good game. On to the next one. And for our final game, we are playing against Viktor. Our Viktor could be a challenging matchup just because he has so many small units to contest our small units. So he might be able to like just run away with the game. But let's see what happens. Okay, so we're gonna lead off with a sentry. Just a solid turn 1 play there. He forgot the obelisk, so he is actually gonna get 1 more energy, so he's gonna be able to use the leader ability as well. We go up to 4, and we are just gonna, you know, play the Lux out. Classic stuff. Having the extra energy is, of course, very good. Okay, he's gonna go conquering, get 1 point. And then he's gonna conquer again, we'll get another one. Yep. And he's gonna play a Cruel Patron. Now, since he did that, like it feels really bad to like Singularity a 1 cost and a 1 cost, or a 1 might and a 1 might. But Singularity a 6 might and a 1 might feels a bit better. is gonna play the recruit in the battlefield. Yeah, so here I'm kind of debating, because like I could potentially play Singularity to kill the Cruel Patron and, for example, a Sentry, and then I could attack with the Lux. Even though that is putting Lux at a bit of a disadvantage, or a bit of a, she's kind of you know, at risk of getting removed. But I think as well, like I kind of want to get some early points as well. So yeah, I'm debating it, but yeah, I think in the end I'm just gonna go for it and hope that he doesn't have anything to remove my Lux. Yeah, Singularity on the Sentry and the Patron. Kill those, and then the old attack with Lux beatdown deck. Yeah, gonna get 1 point. And we are just hoping he doesn't have a way to remove this. He's gonna play Recruit. And he is gonna play a Color Wiki. Yeah, so I don't think my opponent knew how that card works, because he doesn't have to kill... I mean, he can use that card even if he doesn't kill his own unit. But he probably didn't know that, so he probably should have played that first and then use the ability to have like the Recruit still be alive. But, you know, he still gets rid of my Lux, which is unfortunate for us, but very good for him. Then he has 4 more, and he's maybe gonna play out the Viktor? No, he's gonna play a Scout and a Sentry. Okay. Well, we are gonna play Recruit the Vanguard to play 4 recruits of our own, kind of just setting ourselves up for the next turn. Because now thinking that, okay, whatever he like conquers battlefields with, we can just remove that with, I mean, something, and then just clear the rest with the recruits. Because I mean, his units are also just 1 power or 1 might, so we are just gonna go 1 for 1 there. He's gonna play the Viktor, which is pretty good into this board, because if I kill his little guys, he's just gonna get them back. Okay, he's gonna get 1 point. Okay, he decides to go all in on that one. I mean, fair enough. And yeah, we draw into the Singularity, which is going to be able to get the Viktor off the board, so I think we're just going to go for that. Because how the game works is that if, like, Viktor, his ability is that when a non-recruit unit dies, he's going to create a recruit unit. But if he dies at the same time as another unit, then the ability is not going to trigger. So just using the Singularity there is going to deny him a lot of value. So yeah, and then we can just comfortably kind of, yeah, we attack with 1 at a time, just because he could have a card like Siphon Power, which is gonna give his units +1 and my units -1. So at that point, if he would have played that, he would have been at like 3, and if I attack with another recruit there, they would have been at 1 each. So like this is just a way, this is just like a safer way to do it, because if he does have the Siphon Power, then he was gonna use it anyways. But if he doesn't, then this is, yeah, I think this is just the safer. Yeah, so he does have the Siphon Power. So we're just gonna get rid of that. That's fine. And so his Sentry is gonna be a 3 for the rest of the turn, so we do have to attack with 2 of these. But that's fine, because I mean, if he has another Siphon Power, then, you know, that's very unfortunate, but it's likely that he doesn't have that. Yeah, and he doesn't, so we're gonna conquer, and then we're just gonna conquer the other one. Yeah, so now, like, even though we only have recruits, we're still, like, we have, like, full board control. We have a lot of cards in our hand. We have 8 cards in our hand. He has 4. We have both battlefields conquered. So we're probably going to get the hold next turn as well. And then we have just answers. Years of answers in our hand. And we're going to play the Sentry at the end. Okay, he's gonna play a Sprite Mother. Probably my favorite card in the game. Yep, he's gonna play a Sprite, and he can basically just take whichever battlefield he wants to. He's probably gonna go for the War Camp. That is the battlefield that is most valuable to him. Yep, he's gonna get that, get a point. Since he is a token deck, so the War Camp is just gonna get more value the more units you have there. And he's gonna play the Vanguard Captain, which is very good follow-up play, because it's just gonna develop in 3 bodies. Yep. And he's gonna play the Student as well. Now I think playing the Student is probably a bit greedy. But but I mean, because I'm playing the unchecked power, so he's kind of playing right into that, but he probably didn't know about that, or didn't play around it, because like that's also one of the benefits of playing Lux, is that a lot of people, like not a lot of people are playing her, so people don't really know what they're playing around, you know, and the unchecked power is, you know, not that played, so yeah, so we're just gonna pull back our own unit and then just go for it. This is way too much value to not go for it. At this moment my opponent is thinking like, yeah, probably should have played the Riftbound student in the base. But okay, that's very good for us. We can't really attack and we can't do anything else, so we're just gonna pass, but that's gonna set him back a lot. Okay, now he has one Sprite Mother left, and he can conquer whichever battlefield he wants to. And he's gonna play the Thousand-Tailed Watcher. Now, I'm not really a fan of this play because I think Watcher should be played more when you can actually affect the board in some way. Because when you're playing it into, like, he's not in a rush. Like, he has 4 points and I have 4 points, and I think Thousand-Tailed Watcher is way better to use as like a finisher or to kind of clear a board. So playing it just openly like this, I mean, he is gonna get an extra point this turn, I guess, but I can just remove it. I mean, he doesn't know that, but I am playing Lux, and the probability of me being able to remove it is pretty high, so yeah, I think this is just, yeah, not a good play, honestly. But he's gonna get a point, and then he's probably gonna get the other one, yep. We try into the Singularity. So with the Singularity, we can deal 6 to the Watcher and 6 to the Sprite Mother. Yeah, he kind of a mistake here. He thought the Watcher would die, but he is actually at 8 now, so he does survive. Yeah, and then so his board is basically like he has like 4 health total, like 2 on the Watcher and 2 on the Recruit, so we can just crash our guys into it and just trade. So that's very good for us, and then then the game is still in our favor again. Yep. And then we're just gonna play a Scout. Okay, so yeah, now, like, again, we have full board control. So I think he should have just taken it a bit more slowly and kind of built up his board a bit more. And then, like, to finish the game, then he should have played the Watcher. Okay, well, we're gonna conquer one more. Get 1 more point. Like, this turn we're kind of chilling. He doesn't really have anything that we want to get rid of, and we don't really like have to do a lot of stuff, so we're just gonna take a round to kind of set up a bit more for the next one. So we're just gonna play the Energy Conduit and pass. He's gonna get that, develop 2 more units. And he's gonna cull the weak. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much to us. We're just gonna lose like a Scout, and we're gonna challenge one off that, so we're just gonna have more energy for next turn. But we are gonna use to recruit the Vanguard. Yeah, because he kind of pressed space a bit too quickly, so it just passed turn. So it didn't really allow me the chance to respond. But I did want to play the Vanguard. No, the recruit the Vanguard. Yeah, so we're just gonna get 4 recruit tokens. And then we're set up for this turn. Now again, like, he didn't really develop much. He's running out of steam. So yeah, we have 4 units. He has 1 on the battlefield. We can just attack that with one of our guys, and then, you know, just go from there. Yeah, like I said, like in these cases, you just want to go 1 for 1. 1 at a time, and then if he doesn't do anything with that, then we're good. He does have another siphon power, but I mean, we've been through this before, so. Okay, yeah, so in this case I just decide to go for the Sprite Mother. Just because, I mean, if he kills the Sprite, then it doesn't really matter, because that was gonna die at the end anyways. And then I can, like, let my more permanent unit survive, but he doesn't have anything to react to that, so he's just gonna get the Conqueror anyways. I am gonna get the Riftbound student in there, just because, like, I am on 7 points, and he only has 1 unit, so if he can just attack 1, because the Sprite, the token is gonna disappear before I get the hold. So if he doesn't have anything to remove, like, or clear both my battlefields, then I'm just gonna win on the next turn from holding. Okay, so he's gonna attack with that, get a recruit. Now this might seem like a weird play because he has a 3 and a 1 and I have a 3 and a 2. But that also probably means that he has something to boost these guys up. And yep, there it is. The win card for yellow token decks. Like, Grand Stratagem is just an insane card. Give all friendly units +5. So yeah, he's gonna clear that battlefield easily, and then he's gonna Hidden Blade my other battlefield. So he's gonna get that one as well. But I mean, at this point we have like 9 cards in hand. He has 3, like 1 might units and 1 3 might units. And like this, like I said before, like playing the Watcher into an open battlefield is not that good. But in this case, even though we don't really need to do it even, like this is when you should play the Thousand-Tailed Watcher. And that is, I believe, what I'm gonna do as well. Yeah, so now his guys just shrink to a 1 and we can just clear that. Yeah, clear that easily, and then for the final point, we are just gonna go with a Sprite Mother or a Recruit, and get the final one, and we win. And that is Lux. This deck is so much better than people give it credit for, I think. Just being able to remove like stuff so efficiently, because like a lot of the cards and the units that people are playing nowadays, they die to these cards. Like 6 damage, most cards die to that. And then we even have the Final Spark to deal with even bigger units. And then as a board wipe, we just have the unchecked power. So we have so much board control, but it does run into the risk of kind of dying to itself, because if we don't draw all the early stuff, like the sentries and the scouts and the yordle to kind of contest the board and to get points, because we don't really do a very good catch-up game unless we get the unchecked power and they kind of play into it. So we do really need to get our early drops early just to get going. But if we manage to do that and we kind of can like keep pace with our opponent in terms of removing whatever they play out, then this deck is just so good. But like against decks like Viktor, for example, that plays a lot of small units and a lot more targets than we have removal for, then we really need to draw into the unchecked power, because if we can't get that, then our opponent is just gonna get way too much value for us. But if we draw into this and our opponents play into it as well, then that's just gonna single-handedly win us the game. And then the Recruit the Vanguard is also such an important card in this deck, because it just sets up your next turn so good. Because you kind of take a turn off to play this, but then on the next turn you have 4 units to work with, and then you can also just keep blasting your opponent's stuff away with like singularities and stuff like that. So this deck is this card, I mean, is really good in this deck. And like when it comes to the Watcher and the Rex, like I'm kind of debating taking out a Rex and going up a Watcher, but like Watcher is such a good card, but in this deck where we kind of already like pretty efficiently remove our stuff, whenever you like are able to play this card, it doesn't really get as much value as it would in other decks. But it is still a good card, and just having an Accelerate is just good to kind of get some quick points at the end and maybe also go for the win. The only other card we have with like semi-Accelerate is the Sprite Mother, and that's only developed a 3-might unit, so I still think having like some amount of this card is almost mandatory. But I don't know if I would go up to 3 on it, but I think I might decide to go for a 2-2 split on these 2. And yeah, like the battlefields, like the Obelisk of Power, just being able to play Lux on turn 1 is so good, because it just sets us up so well for like the following turns. And the Aspirant's Climb just helps our game plan, because we do want to go late game, and just this is a very efficient way to do that. But yeah, this deck is very fun. It is, as I said, I think it has a lot more potential that people give it credit for, and it's gonna be very interesting to see what other tools she gets to work with, because I mean, you do have to play a certain amount of spells that cost 5 or more, and the options now are pretty limited. I mean, all these cards are very good, I think, but it's gonna be very interesting to see what kind of other tools we get to work with in this deck. But for now, I think it is, I mean, if anything, it's a lot of fun to play. But yeah, that is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you on the next one. Take care, and bye-bye.